you and Deborah didn't have a good relationship, and you didn't think too highly of Debra over the years. And for those that don't know, she used to be Mongo McMichael's wife. She was in WCW, then she came to WWE, and I guess a short relationship took place between Debra and Steve, and they were married for a brief period.
That I didn't actually think there would be a problem getting along with her, to be honest, only because, as you know, I have a daughter with Chris Adams, and I was very, very, very good friends with his wife Tony. I was possibly a bit naive because I probably would have thought that the relationship I had with Chris and Tony and Jade, our daughter, could could be, you know, if Steve were to pick up the girls, I could say hi, Deborah, and stuff like that. Unfortunately, she did not like me, although I would have been really willing to work with her. What the problem ended up being between me and Deborah was, um, I was living in Dallas, and there Steve actually phoned me up, and he said to me, "There's a show in Fort Worth, a TV taping in Fort Worth. Uh, bring the girls." So he asked me to take the girls. He phoned me and asked me. Now, my girls, they used to like making the signs, like the signs you hold up. They had their glitter and they had their glue and their crayons. So about 4 p.m., just a little time before we were going to get in the car and go to the show in Fort Worth, the girls were going to see their dad. Steve phones me back up and he goes, "Oh, I'm ever so sorry, don't come tonight." And I went, "Oh, here's a problem here because the girls have made their signs and they're excited. Now you're going to make me look like a heel. But I tell you what," I said, "I'll bring them to the show. We'll sit in the bleachers. You don't have to see us. I'll tell the girls you got an injury, whatever. But I'm not going to let them down and not take them to the show because that will just break their heart." I go to the show and sat way back in the bleachers. After the show, I'm thinking, okay, fine, we'll go home now. Someone with a t-shirt on, it just had crew written on it, so I didn't know who it was, except it was somebody who worked there. Goes, Jeannie, come here, come on back. And oh, Steve's changed his mind. He's going to want to see the girls now. So, see Paul Heyman, and he goes, Jeannie, come back. So I'm like, okay, great. So Steve must have decided that he's not going to let Debra tell him he can't see his own kids. So we go back. Steve sees the girls. See, Hannah's there, and they see him briefly, but he did look a little quizzed. He looked a bit like, "What are you doing here?" kind of thing. Come to find out that the people who saw me brought me back, like Paul Heyman and whoever the crew member was, without Steve actually knowing. So anyway, that's fine. The girls see their dad. We're leaving, ready to go to the car, and here comes a woman like power walking towards me. It's Debra. So she grabs Stephanie by the forearm. "I'll take the girls to see their dad," she said, and I went, "No, no, they've already seen him." And I said to her, "Do you have a problem with me being here with my kids or the kids seeing their dad?" And she got right in my face. She said, "Yes." And I just took Steph's arm away from her, and I left. So when I got home, Steve phoned me up and he said he apologized. He said, "I'm really sorry." He said that Debra left him at the arena and he had to catch a ride with Hannah to the airport or the hotel, wherever, and that she had taken the keys to the rental car and left the building because I was there with the girls and she had told him to tell me not to come. That's the point there that I didn't think that the relationship of all three of us would work, as in, you have the girls on the weekend and this and that, because Deborah wouldn't allow that. Like Tony and I had a great relationship with that. So that was the point that night. I can remember sitting on the couch after Steve phoned and apologized, and I thought, this is not going to work.